And
Yeah. Let's do it.
you are the man, the myth, the legend. I hope today
I'm
you're
the legend.
gonna weigh in on some stuff. Still feeling sick, dude. I am so upset with myself to a degree. I gotta stop talking about it though, because it's over with. But I was like, so those of you guys who are watching, we have an internal Google sheet of all the athletes that are competing in the Open and trying to make it to either. Well, yeah, everyone trying to make the semifinals, regardless of the group you're in. And I was like, oh, whatever. Like, and I was like looking because Marissa coaches me. And so, like, if you get coached one-on-one, you get put on there. And like, so I'm on there. And I was like, oh, man, 530 masters make it to semifinals. And I'm 876th. And like, then I was like, oh, if I wasn't sick and I had some desire in me, like, because in 2022, when I was training a lot before we reopened the gym and we just had the garage, and like Marissa and I were training, Marissa was training for trying to go to the CrossFit Games with the team, Union Square, and driving out there and everything else. So like, I was training like 2 to 3 hours a day. We didn't have Ruth and everything else. And like, yes, in the last 4 months, I've been training more deliberately, not more time. Marissa's been coaching me, and so like, I knew that the score wasn't going to be as good just because of that. So I was like, okay, like when the workout came out, we were watching, I was sick, and I was like, shit, like I don't know when I'm going to do this. So I like put it off until Monday morning to see if I could get better. I still like have it. I was like, finally just like, okay, I got to do it. So I did it. And then a bunch of other people did it. And then in hindsight, when I see myself on the list there, I was like, man, because I watched the video and I thought about redoing it at night. And I was like, I could easily do it in 7 minutes. And then I was just like, I don't want, because my legs will be cooked. I don't want to like do that. I don't want to deal with the soreness the couple days later. And I look at this, I'm like, because I did the numbers, and it was like, oh, dude, if I just got a 756, I'd be inside qualifying for semifinals.
Dang.
35, 39. And that's very doable because I watched my video and before I knew this, I sent my video to some of the other people, my friends. I was like, you want to see what being a little bitch and being disciplined at the same time look like? Because I did the last thrusters 654, and I did it like in a minute 10 or something. But there's like 20 to 35 seconds in there of me like just like resting and playing the game and being methodical. And it's like, dude, I could have just did like 11-4.
Yeah.
Or like 9-6 and been done under the 8-minute mark, like very easily. So now I'm kicking myself, but there's an opportunity, 25.3
there you go.
We have so many people. I was counting this morning. We have 24 people in a qualifying position.
Nice.
And as long as that doesn't change, not to mention some of the people in our gym, like, so it's pretty good for semifinals. So like for the masters or the age group stuff, I won't like get it. I'll pay the money and do 1 rep. So then like it's on my profile, but I will have no time to do that if we have like 20 to 25 people come out.
Yeah.
All right. You in the chat, comment. I'm going to rant about some stuff. I sent the coaches a list, things that I was going to rant about, and said, hey, if you don't want to get on because, you don't want to listen to me rant, it's fine. Tyler's here. He sent an emoji of popcorn. He's ready for the rant. He did ask me before we get on. No one's saying hi in the chat. Wave up. What's up? Give a peace sign. If you're not liked or subscribed to our channel, you should do it. Cody wrote comment.
Nice.
Nice, dude. Cody shredded his hands on 25.3.
I saw.
Redo. But he got it done. First time he did not get under the time cap. He lost his mind, dude. It was crazy. He was on pace for a sub 7-minute time, and he was killing it. And then those last 15 thrusters not just that, but like that was where the shit show happened.
Yeah.
It's all right. He was like full tilt. It was good effort. And they redid it later that night and finished, which is still also very impressive.
Yeah, for sure.
But shredded his hands. So hopefully, we'll talk about the leaks later. Hopefully he doesn't have to hang from a bar. But yeah, I mean, let's go over the rant, dude. Let's go. So the first thing, like Adrian Conway came out and I was really happy. Like if you guys don't listen to his It's True Fitness podcast, or you know who Adrian Conway is, mentor, colleague, friend of mine when I was with Brute, still good dude. We've talked about him in the past, you know. He like came out on his podcast and just basically said like in the beginning that, and I resonated with me and I wanted just to bring it up and like spread it out too and just kind of echo what he was saying. Like elite athletes, and this is true for everybody. And I don't want to rain on people's parade too much because I also want people to be proud of what they do and what they accomplish and what they achieve. But when you're out there in the world selling toe spacers and you think that your value as an athlete, not as a human, but as an athlete is so much greater than, and when we're talking about this ecosystem, when we're talking about CrossFit, then the CrossFit trainer, the CrossFit coach, or a CrossFit affiliate, you're so far down off base. Like you need to get punched in the throat and brought back to reality. Like, and he agrees, like the value of somebody who can run a 5-minute mile on 500-pound back squat is like the example he brought up. You go down to your local high school and there's tons of kids that can run a 4-minute mile. So they will run faster than Ricky Garrard ran at the CrossFit Games. Just go. You want to see impressive human performance, go down to your local high school. As long as they're like you got to make sure they're a good team. There's a kid out there who's running 4-minute mile, you know, way faster than Ricky Garrard. Now, can he do that and back squat 500 pounds? No, but like, that's not the point. Like the point is like, you think that you're so special because you can do this crazy feat of athleticism or fitness to the degree at which you can get on your social media and downplay what every level 1 trainer, affiliate owner, coach and outside of CrossFit can do. Like you're just the top pinnacle. Like you deserve so much and you've done so much for everyone that everyone should kiss the ground you walk on. Like, no, thank you. I got to say that, like, just no, thank you. And if you're one of those athletes that just thinks because you're fast at fitness and that's what you're providing to the rest of the people, like, no, you're providing zero. Sorry. And now as a human being and everything else, like if you change your attitude, you could provide more as a human being. Cause that's a poor attitude. And there's a lot of them. And I don't want to like judge people for making their decisions based on like doing the open, not doing the open, doing WFP. Like I'm not even gonna go down that route. I'm just saying the general mindset and your feeling of like, yes, because I'm so good at exercise, you should watch me and you should buy these shoes or buy these or buy my program or whatever. No, like hard no. You should go to your local affiliate and buy that coach's program and put food on their table because they're there every day helping tons of people. You should go to the coach who's like actually coaching for a living and get coached by them. And just because you're fast at fitness doesn't mean you understand how to make somebody else fast at fitness. You know, that's also annoying. Like that's a whole nother piece of it all. Just like, you got to chill, man. You got to chill. Because I'm pretty fast at fitness, you know, but that's not why I'm a good coach. I could be slow at fitness and be a good coach. Like I know a lot of people who are slow at fitness and are phenomenal coaches. So it's really grinding my gears. And I just got to put my flag in the ground. You know, like you need to bring more value to your community, your people on the internet than your fast fitness or your video. And like I make these videos. I made this video at the week 1 of the parody of joking. It's like it's not that hard nowadays to set up a camera, stand in front of it, talk with a little microphone on, do some movements, layer those together, and then have CapCut put captions on my video and then post it to the internet. That is not hard. Any one of us could do that. You just have to want to do it. And sure, the degree at which the quality, like what camera you're using, the editing software, your background and that kind of thing is going to make the quality of the video different. But dude, that doesn't make you an expert. That doesn't put forth like any real effort to change anyone. Like let's say that video was serious and I was giving tips. Like, what's the point? Like, if you have that amount of time to make a video genuinely giving tips because you're trying to market yourself and market your program or whatever, well, you obviously don't have enough athletes then to be coaching. Like, you're not actually coaching. You're spending more time doing marketing and media than you are coaching. Like, if I see people regularly on the internet posting, that's why, like, I'm not on the, I don't have fucking time for that. It's cool. If I had the way less athletes and we weren't coaching in the gym, that's what I would do. I would get on and like do the captions and like make little videos. It's fun, but I don't have any time for that. Like, I just told you about a spreadsheet that we make with all the athletes. So we got to go into the open leaderboard, pull their scores, pull their ranking, do their percentages, look at the thing, look at the rule book, look at this, do this. That's all that time spent to make sure that we're managing the people's goals and success is spent there. I don't got time. Like, I used to make a ton of videos because I had more time. I had less athletes. I had less responsibilities. I wasn't, like, but once you start coaching seriously or running a business seriously, dude, the amount of time you have, like, and successfully, like, you're getting people to the CrossFit Games or getting people to semifinals or getting people to these competitions and you're building something unique and genuine, you don't have time unless you hire a media person that's there all day, every day. Like Mayhem's a good example. Like, Rich Froning's not standing out there with a tripod with his like microphone on and then going in and editing that video himself. No, he walks out there. What's up, guys? This is what we're going to do. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. See you later. And then Scott takes care of all that. And that's his job. And so that content I understand, but like some of these other pieces of content that are out there, it's like, yeah, man, you're just like you're not doing the thing. And some of that was spurred by like Kyle Habdo's been on fire recently on his Instagram, but like he posted a little story. I read it and I texted him and I was like, man, like, don't worry about it. Cause he was like really doubting, like, well, he asked the question on Instagram, if I don't put up, testimonials or transformations or whatever, like, am I really even doing a good job? And if I don't put up content, am I really even doing a good job? And so I texted him, and I know he was just asking broadly because he wanted to know. And we were talking back and forth about it. And it's like, I just basically told him, dude, you don't have time. Like, you're doing what you can. Like, think of the work he does. Like, we use a lot of his movements that he creates. And it's through like the Training Think Tank, because we have the Training Think Tank affiliate access stuff. So like they put that all in there. And he does a really good job of movement demos, structures of stretching and mobility. And it's like, don't reinvent the wheel. Like, he's doing all that hard work. But he's got so many jobs, tasks, and responsibilities that there's no way that he could be putting out content like you see these content creators, because that's all they are, like content creators. And then sometimes it's like they're writing one program. It's like, oh, look at all this content, like, buy this program. It's like one program, one size fits all. You're going to get frustrated on it as the consumer. You're not going to get your results and goals. And what's happening is there's a wide enough net that there are going to be people who just naturally, genetically rise to the top. And then they take those people and say, look at all these people we've helped. And it's like, I want to see the median person. I want to see that midpoint person that you've helped. What do they look like? Because I don't care about the people who naturally adapt. They're great. They're consistent. They love the program. They're built for this, genetically ready and trained. And like, you just applied consistency and quality work. It's just crazy. It's just so crazy. So, and it's hard because it's hard as somebody who like runs a small business and like you guys being part of that. And I'm always like, oh, we got to do more content. Like, we got to put stuff out because like that's the game that we're playing. But in reality, I'm kind of like, oh man, it'd be better just to not and focus like on the people we have and give them more. But I feel like the businesses and the companies will shrivel up and die. So there's a balance there, I think, definitely. But I'm just like so tired and frustrated, especially with like when you hear someone like I feel that way. And then you got Kyle Habdo, who's working for Train Think Tank, crushing it. He's a phenomenal physical therapist and strength and conditioning coach and sports coach. And he's feeling less than because he can't get out there and put out 3 fucking videos a week that are like, hey, this is how you internally, externally rotate your shoulder. And these are some tips and tricks that you too can add to your training. That literally means nothing, because how many people out there are going to be able to build their own training that is balanced enough and integrate those useful tips? Because they're useful. But like, And then the next thing is like, we'll buy my full program and you too can have this. So, okay, I got it. I see what you're doing here. Got it.
There it is.
There it is. No, I don't know. It just bothers me. It's just the internet, Instagram, it does bother me a lot. And I think getting on here and like just even being more real with people and less curated and like, I like that. That's why I like a lot of like the lives, because you can't like right now, like whatever I say is what I say. There's no editing it. And I've watched people edit their lives and everything else and repost them later. I'm just like, come on, man.
Oh,
Just,
that's shady.
yeah, just do it.
So why do you think that is though? Because I don't think it's just like a content. I mean, because like any professional athlete, sells their brand of liquor and it's supposed to be the best thing, like, and it can taste terrible. But like, so where do you think that comes from?
It's like, marketing. It's some marketing person. I say some marketing person. It's just that like, okay, well, you got something here. So let's put a brand to it. Let's find your niche. Let's then build your community. And then the community of people that you have are your buyers and blah, blah, blah. And then they like spread it like that.
But like, what do you think is like the pull of like, oh, this celebrity I've never met. I have no idea who they are.
Why do people wear jerseys? I mean, why do people wear jerseys to games?
Well, I think that's different because like you're actually pulling for the athlete doing their thing.
That's fair.
But like drinking.
Well, no, that's the same thing. You're pulling for that person to have a business and their thing that they're doing. But I would argue like you could do that. You could have the same attachment to somebody who makes, in your example, liquor.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're the best liquor makers. Like when you say that too, I think of like leather working. There's like a ton of leather working companies that have a lot of fandom. Like Harley Davidson is also a good example of like something that has a lot of fandom that's behind a company. Yeah. So like when it's behind a company like that, and like what Harley does or some certain things like that, I'm just like, okay, whatever. But like when it's another, like I use the athlete and toe spacers, like that's not their company. They're like using a 15% off code so I can get paid because I'm a good exerciser and I want you to use these things. Or like, I'm selling this program off to the side, but I don't really coach anybody, blah, 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 right? Versus, and what you're saying too is like, if you want to buy the liquor because that famous person is saying to do it, fine. But I would also have the same argument in that space of like, well, would you say that the liquor company or the owners or the people creating that are the ones you probably should be more hyped on? Like maybe the people got you in the door, but then have some awareness and open up your mind to like, wow, this is, dude, I can't think of anything right now other than like turpentine, which is not, it's hilarious. Because I don't drink a lot. I don't drink alcohol, but and I know turpentine is not alcohol, but it's just like, yeah, you're getting into this thing. And then you could like really get into it and dive in and be like, wow, these liquor companies, the barrel, like this stuff, like you could get into the whole thing and be all in on that. And that pulls you away from like Matthew McConaughey, who's selling you your liquor, you know, he just got you in the door. So there's not, again, like it's same thing in CrossFit space. You know, they symbiotic, like some of these athletes or the Netflix documentaries get you in the door. But what makes people stay is the affiliates, the coaches, the trainers, the full-time people doing this. And that's where the imbalance comes from. Because I think just because it got you in the door, they think the athletes who got some people in the door are like, they are the reason. You know, it's like, well, not everyone came through the door because of that. You know, I've ran affiliates almost 15 years now. I could probably count on, 10 people have ever said, like, I watched a documentary, I came into the gym. You know, I mean, some people see it here and there offhandedly, obviously, because social media, but that like, I saw it on the documentary. Like when they were big time on Netflix, it's like people are like, oh, I saw it, but that's not like why I came in. Like, that's cool that's on there, but you know,
but even if they did come in because of an athlete, it's the athlete's not the one getting their fitness.
Yeah. And then also CrossFit made that documentary, a whole organization behind that, sent people out to film it, write it, produce it, edit it, get the negotiations with Netflix, get it on Netflix to get out to the masses. And like, yeah, I know people are like, well, but the subjects, it's like, okay, well, what's happening right now? We have some of the top dogs leaving the open, and the next person is filling those shoes.
Right.
Like the story is still being told. And I don't want to discredit anybody because I know it's hard work and it's something that you should strive for. I'm just saying the behavior of them, like, well, everyone's doing CrossFit because of me and my athletic abilities. Not saying that people gone that extreme, but it's definitely there's a tone of that in
Sure.
the air. Like CrossFit. I definitely used to hear, I saw it on ESPN, but it's been 8 years since then. Yeah. Like people come in and say, like, I saw it. And there are very few people I'm saying that came in as like, I'm coming in because I saw it,
Mhm.
you know? Cause like someone told me one time, like, yeah, like 8 years ago too, they were like, oh yeah, we were over at they're in a BJ's restaurant, like a chain restaurant, but they're playing on ESPN. They're like, we saw it. Yeah, we saw it. Those are kind of cool. But they're already members of CrossFit, you know? So the visibility of CrossFit like 8 years ago was huge. But again, the byproduct of CrossFit doing that work, taking the muse, the athletes, turning it into art, presenting it to the world. So who gets the credit? You know, and it's split. It's split. I think there's a lack of wow. Without the affiliates and the coaches, there would be no high level athletics or CrossFit.
Right.
It's like without coaches, the organizations of high school teams, AU stuff, the colleges, there would be no NFL. You know, and I think there's a lot of credit that's given to college coaches and high school coaches and programs and all those things in that space. But like, and from the athletes, you hear it all the time. Oh, I had the college coach or the high school coach or whatever. Even in Wayne Gretzky's book, he credits a coach for him being so good because he's slow, quote unquote, stick handling and that coach allowed him to be creative on the ice that before Wayne Gretzky, like nobody really played the puck behind the net.
Mm-hmm.
And a coach allowed him to do that because it made him better at what he's doing. You know? And so like you don't have Gretzky if you don't have that coach. And then you don't have Gretzky if you don't have that organization and that team and that and this and that. And like it's crazy how intricate it all is. And people just think it's so easy. Like, why are people getting hyped up on Muse? Because I said that. Sorry, my vocabulary is so extensive. Oh man, that's funny though. Doesn't Wayne also credit lacrosse? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like it's just crazy to me how we've lost on the internet, like the respect for the robustness of everything and the fragility of everything, especially in our space right now. And it just irritates the F out of me because I feel like it's entitlement, you know, and like in the midst of it, like I'm looking at stuff and I just want it to be better. And I think it's toned down a lot, but I do think you still hear the rumblings and grumblings and like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy how much like we gotta, I don't know, speak out and say stuff because it's not okay. It's not okay that, you know, Caroline Lambre, and this still sticks with me. And I can't believe she said it. Says like, what have the affiliates done for the athletes? I was like, bro,
Yeah.
like, are you serious? You know, and I don't like that blew my mind. Like that and then didn't even come out and correct herself at all. So she believes that.
Right.
It's like, wow. Okay. Okay. You know, CrossFit. That was wild.
Yeah.
And then so I just see all these posts and I just see stuff and like it's like, you know, I don't want to get into it because I think it's great that things like the WFP and like other competitions and everything run, and we had a great time at Fittest of the Coast, and I want other competitions to rise up and like give people opportunities from all levels, you know. But when I see things like WFP wanting to, they have their athletes basically give them, you should sign up for the WFP qualifier because I'm Brooke Wells and I said so. It's like, where was that about, hey, you should go into your local affiliate so you could change your metabolic syndrome and disease and get in front of a CrossFit trainer who knows and is the reason why we're here.
Right.
It's wild. And it's frustrating. And that's why I wanted to rant because I just, bro, it's wild. CrossFit is hype right now. We're not that removed from the OC Throwdown days, East Coast Championships. Yeah, we're not. But at least those things were run by CrossFit affiliate owners, and they gave back to the communities. Yeah, crazy. It's crazy. All right, the leaks. I'm going to rant about the leaks. also. So I hope you're here for it. If you're here for it, comment in the chat, leaks. So like a couple of weeks ago, I got a text message and like I get these often, which is great because as a coach in the space, like, yes, getting an advantage is good. I don't say anything to anybody. I didn't start saying anything that I got these text messages until they came out on the internet, and it's all over Reddit. And so like, yeah, 25.3 leak or the leaks before, or the years before. And it's like, I don't mind, like, dude, I was thinking about other stuff that gets like leaked. Like think about Marvel movies or like, yeah, Marvel movies is a good example. Things get leaked or whatever, and it creates hype, and all the internet people have all the time for like they make the videos. Shannon says leaks. Yes. Let's just take the Marvel movies because they're so big and they try to keep everything quiet. And they got the actors like who's gonna play Reed Richards in the next Fantastic Four, and then it's like set photos of Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. Like he's got his, and it makes it fun, man. Like I don't know why people are upset that this gets leaked. It's crazy because it happens in so many other industries that things get like I say quotes leaked. I don't think anybody's actively giving it out. I think CrossFit and Dave and everybody really want to keep it a tight lid on it, which is great because it is exciting when the show comes on and we're like, what's it going to be? Like, that's cool for us. I like that. But to think that like, it's not going to get leaked in some capacity when you have like so much media going behind it, right? Just the scorecards. Let's just take the scorecards first. So that thing's got to be created. Everybody knows, like whether you're using Photoshop or using Canva or whatever, someone's got to be told what the workout is. They got to be told what the standards are. They got to told what the blah, blah, blah is. They got to be this, that, the other. And then they got to get in there and do, right? So now we have one person, maybe 4 or 5 other people who are working on the scorecard. Then you got to have James Hobart tell you what the tips and tricks are for 25.3, standing in the studio. They're not like waiting for the announcement and then, okay, go guys, go. All systems go, red alert, everybody go. And then producing this type of content for you to consume at scale like that. That's crazy to think that like, it's not going to get leaked. I'm surprised it hasn't got leaked more often throughout the years. Yeah, Cody said in quotes, it's not professional. Yeah, but I just gave you an example of Disney because Disney owns Marvel, of them getting leaked of their new movies and actors and everything else and series and shows and all that. So like if CrossFit isn't professional, then you're going to have to say Disney is also not professional, which could be debated, but I don't care about that. The point is there's just so many people working on it that like, yes, it's going to get leaked, dude. It's going to get leaked. But yeah, I got a text and I was like, yeah, it makes sense. 50 cal row, 25 deadlifts, 50 cal row, 25 wall walks. I wasn't given the loading or the time demands. And then, and then the stuff on Reddit started coming out. There's like 2 other variants. And then Dave Castro, weekend review, which I really liked that he did this. And I would have liked if CrossFit just came out and said something. Just like, yeah, things are being leaked. It's one of the workouts. We're not going to tell you which one, and we're not going to change it. Which like, it was a much better play this year than like in the past with the leaks. Because I think they're over the frustration of it all. But yeah, it was just like Dave was on his weekend review. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Just like, yep, gets leaked. That's it. And I think like if we want to keep it a secret, the people leaking it should probably just stop. Like if you're like, yes, I love that it's being leaked, then you're the one leaking it, and that's fine. It's totally good. Like whatever, dude. It's chill. And like as we know as coaches, what's crazy is like even if you like watch people do these workouts, people do the workout. Then they repeat the workout on Monday. Sometimes they repeat on Sunday. They get better most of the time, not by a large percentage, but like, let's say the 130, let's say bar muscle ups, 15 bar muscle ups, from this last workout, you don't have a bar muscle up. If we told you 2 to 3 weeks out, could the affiliate or your one-on-one coach help you get better or get more bar muscle ups? 100%. So they would have a better outcome. Does that hurt the sanctity of the test? I don't think so at all, because we're testing fitness across broad times and multiple domains. And just because we know that 2 weeks from a whole year of training, from the last open, you're going to get mad because 2 weeks ahead of time, you were told that you're going to do bar muscle ups, and then those people are really good at bar muscle ups. Like Colton Murrens doesn't need to be, he can be told all of the workouts and would not change anything. Nothing. He still get first. You know, instead of 401, it might be 359. Like, cool. Love to see it. It'd be awesome. You know what I mean? Like, and then people complain, like, oh, it's leaking. It's not professional. Like Cody said, it's like, no, it's fine. And it's fun. And it doesn't change the outcome. What the problem I have with is when like some people know and some people don't know, and it's going around and everything else. And like, yeah, as a coach, like I want to know, like, I'm glad people reach out. Cause like, dude, I'm in my own little silo. I don't know. I don't have anyone in at CrossFit. Right. So like, yes, please keep texting me. And I will tell no one, because I told no one until it was on Reddit. I mean, even then I didn't really tell anybody. I'd like put in our text, our coach's text, and then some people at the gym. So it's like, whatever. Oh yeah. NFL trade schedules get leaked. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. All right. If it leaks, then it should be publicized. But yeah, that's what I mean. And Dave, I think this Monday on his weekend review, Shanna did a really good job of like saying, hey, there's 3 workouts out. We're not going to tell you which one it is, and we're not going to change it, but it's one of those. I think that's fair too. I'm fine with that, coming out and saying that. Because then there's some, if it was one workout, yeah, he should just come out. Like I agree with you. He should come out on his weekend review, or CrossFit should come out and say it, or send out an email to all of the affiliates. So then all the affiliate owners know what it is and say, hey, look, this workout got leaked. This is what the workout is. You're not going to be able to do it. And guess what? We're going to add a password protection to that workout. So your athletes have to tell you or put it on their video, just like they've done for age group and online semifinals. And on Friday or Thursday night, we'll release it in the announcement. Easy peasy. People are still going to cheat. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
So, let's see. What are the other ones we got? Do you see he posted a video on his Instagram denying? He isn't denying or confirming. Yeah. He's not denying or confirming which workout it is. He did say it's one of the variants of the workout. If you watch the full weekend review on YouTube and not just the Instagram clip that someone chopped up and fed to you. Sorry, Renata. I know. But we got the rant right now. So I gotta hit you home. Do all your work, you know? But yeah, it's on Instagram. If you want to watch the whole thing, he talks about it. It's good. She says, okay, Todd. LOL. Yeah, I know. Let's see what else. CrossFit. What if Dave made 3 workouts to smoke out the leaks? Yeah, maybe.
Clever.
Maybe he did. He's like, all right, we have all 3 of these guys. Here we go. What if, now we're being speculatory. It was like, okay, here's the 3 workouts. All for time. No time caps. Choose which one you want to do, put your score on. And they're ranked equally. Like reps are reps or whatever. Your time is your time. People will lose their minds. They could never do that. It'd be hilarious though. Yeah, just pick one. Pick one of the 3. Go ahead. And then whatever your time is, put the time in and we'll see you there. So funny. All right. Carlos, handstand push-ups, box jump overs, and rowing this week. Yeah, maybe. Maybe also 50 cal row, 25 deadlifts at 315, 205, 50 cal row, and 25 wall walks for time, or a 7-minute arm wrap. 7 minutes. And the elites would finish it. That would be so hot and spicy at 7 minutes to get through.
Yeah.
They could get through. But yeah, Carlos, you might be right too. Who knows? I have not seen Ben Smith's story today. I don't know. Take a look at Ben Smith's story, Tyler. All right. Yeah, the other thing I want to rant about is like the affiliates, gyms, and this is not like this is anywhere you go, or even your own house. It's just crazy like how people treat spaces. What does it say? Read it to us.
Just dropped a new strength program on the Patreon page.
Oh, nice. Do you have all 3 and watch the leaderboard?
Oof. It's still a 3-week open with 5 tests. I like that.
Oh,
You'd have to do all 3 of the workouts.
Oh my God. That would kill people. Quit. There'd be attrition like no other. I'm not doing 3 workouts. It'd be good. I'd be like, yes, this is my opportunity because I'm so close. Yeah, no, like, so I don't know if people want to pull more stuff up or comment, but yeah, this is the other thing I want to rant about is like just the gym spaces in general. Like, cause this is where we all train, whether you train high rocks or you train CrossFit or some functional modality. Like I just watch people every day in our gym, and a lot of this got spurred from, if you guys don't watch, was it on Coffee Pods and Wads? Yeah, I believe it was on Coffee Pods and Wads, but JR Howell and another affiliate owner, they go on, and he's got 2 episodes now. And like one of the things that JR and them that are congruent is like the cleanliness of the gym, the order of the gym and equipment, respect. And like, even when JR is not there, the members know like, hey, look, that's not how you put that away. Or like, that's not how you treat that piece of equipment. And the members themselves take ownership over that, which they should. And I think that doesn't happen enough widely in the CrossFit space or functional fitness space, really anywhere. I watch people you see it on the internet all the time, people throwing dumbbells down. Like those dumbbells have like this much, like 1.5 to 2 inches of metal surrounded by a hex pressed head that's made out of rubber, pressed on by a machine, heat pressed on. And every time you drop that, it's just going to break that over time. And same thing with the bumpers. And you got to replace it. And affiliate owners, well, yeah, the coaches sometimes effectively, because the affiliate owner might be absentee, but like you replace these pieces of equipment, and like people are like, well, that's what I pay my membership for. And it's like, well, do you? Because we got rent, insurance, lights, electricity, like all the stuff, plus buying new equipment and like keeping it the right way and respecting it. It would be better. And I was talking to my wife about this, and she was like, yeah, we rather buy new stuff and fun stuff than replace stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's true for all gyms. And like, this was really bothering me because like, you watch people, and every now and again, I get it. And there's a level of use and abuse of equipment that we accept, and we know that. But there's also like, it's just like, why? Like you as an athlete, whether you're a games athlete using a gym space or you're a general population person, like if you, and people are like, well, I could just buy this stuff at my house. And it's like, I've done that. Like my wife and I have done that, and we don't have everything. We have, a lot of the standard stuff. And no, because we got 1 rower, 1 ski, 1 echo, 1 bike erg, and then 2 pull-up bars, 2 squat racks, men's and women's bar. But then the plates are all the same. The dumbbells are all the same that we share. So like, it's not like we have double of everything, but like you're going to end up spending $10,000 if it's like a 2-person, 400 square foot garage space on that. And when you're paying $150 to $200 a month on a CrossFit gym, like you're over 10 years, you're basically going to spend that time. Right. But the hope is that if you treat the equipment nice and everything else and the space nice, that the gym owners themselves don't have to replace the equipment. They can buy new stuff, fun stuff. Cause you're not going to end up getting a 300-pound sandbag that everybody gets to play with, a handstand walk ramp, different camber bars so you can help with people's shoulder health, cable lat down machines. Concept 2 released that you can buy their strength concept machines today. Like, and those are $1,500 each. Like, and like all kinds of stuff, dude. Like just fun stuff. You could get JR Howell's got the moving pull-up bars that swing like trapeze, and those things are expensive. You could get different types of kettlebells and dumbbells and like strongman stuff, pin things. But the thing is, like, as an affiliate owner, you have to buy all that stuff, not just one thing. Because if you're going to use it in your class, you got to buy at minimum 5 to 10 of those things. So like, it's just wild to me. And I watch on the internet these like videos of people putting shit away inappropriately. I see it happen in our gym, and our gym is like clean. I hold a high expectation. And I get on people about the little things, and I'm going to do that because it's all about culture. Like, and I look out there, I can look out there right now and be like, okay, it's beautiful relative to most CrossFit gyms, but I don't want it to be better than most CrossFit gyms. I want it to be the CrossFit gym. And I think all CrossFit or functional fitness or gym owners should feel that way, and hold people to that expectation. Because you're basically, with your membership, you're just borrowing the space and the equipment for that hour, or the open gym time or whatever. And in the hopes that you're supporting the owner and the trainers and the coaches so they can grow more. So eventually that you can grow more. So you don't have to, that's like, we're all in it together at the end of the day. And I think a lot of people miss that. It's like, you treat the equipment nice. I treat the equipment nice. We can all have nice things. We don't have to replace things. We can buy new things. We can upkeep it together. You can tell the coach, hey, this thing's running out of batteries. This looks like it's a little nicked up. This is like, as a member, you could teach new members, hey, that's not going to make the equipment last long. Like, let's try to do it this way. You yourself could wipe down everything that you use with sweat. Like you ride a bike, wipe the whole bike down, not just the handles and the seat. Like, look at the body of the bike, because that sweat has salt in it. It will erode the metal and rust things. It does. So like, be present with your space. It's just crazy to me. And like, again, our space is doing a good job. Most of our people are doing a pretty good job. I want them to do a better job. And it was all sparked by, because JR is like nothing. And then today, Kyle Habdo, he gets 2 shout outs today. He posted a picture. I wasn't going to talk about it, but it's on the internet, on his story, of just like a messy area of where the sandbags are at TTT. I don't want to like put them on blast, but I mean, he put it up there. So it's fine. And people should know. And you know what? It's not putting them on blast. Actually, I want to change that stigma. If you get told that that's not where that goes, you got to chill out. Don't be offended.
Yes.
Don't be offended. Like, and if someone puts something on Instagram and it's like, hey guys, this is where this goes. Don't be all like, oh, like, no, dude, that's not where that goes. There we go.
There it is.
Yeah. And it's just a mess. And Kyle, I reached out. I was like, oh, dude, it's the daily grind. And he's like, yeah, I like clean up after a ton of people all the time. It's just, I don't understand. It's not that hard to put it back where you got it from, and it's like, and it's a frustration because like not only do I feel that, but the other athletes who come into the space feel it, and it erodes your space over time, and it erodes your community over time, and it erodes your business over time. And then you're spending more money replacing stuff without buying new stuff. And because people get so offended that you said something, how dare you tell me that I leave chalk everywhere? No, dude, you leave chalk everywhere. Stop doing that. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that. All my sweat's on this bike. Yeah, all that sweat is on your bike. So clean it up. Oh, what? You mean I can't anvil this plate to rip the core out of it? So then you got to replace them? Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Unfortunately. So, it's just crazy. What are they saying in the chat? See what Heather said. Most people in affiliate have no concept of how much these things cost. That is true. They don't have any idea how much they cost, but they don't need to know how much it costs. They just need to understand that they're in a communal space where they should have respect for the people running the small business, the coaches coaching, and the other members, your friends, your cohorts, the people around you who want nice things too. Like, you don't want to get on a trashed ass rower when you're trying to do your Metcon in class, do you? So stop treating the rower like trash, because that's why they're getting trashed. You're like, it's like Taylor Swift out here. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Bro. I make my shoulders look big. I don't even know what that he's talking about.
He was going on a rant about wall walks.
At $100 a pop. And now you're sitting on with your swamp ass. Yeah, that happens. Sitting on wall balls, dude. Why? Someone's face goes right there. Like, when I'm throwing this ball, and like, look at germs. Look at the germ and fecal particles from your butt sweat. Like, go ahead, Google it. And you're going to go, oh man, yeah, that's on there. Like, you could probably, I'd have to look at it more deeply and in depth. And I'm going to go out on a limb though. Now, I don't even want to say it because I don't want to be wrong, but I'm going to look it up. I'm going to see if you can get pink eye from that wall ball. There's like poop particles from the butt sweat and like the surface, because they have to look up the surface it's on. Like, I want to figure it out. But like, for real though, CrossFit, yeah, pink eye city for sure. Probably. I don't know. I got to look into it, but yeah. The $1 you should still treat it like it's yours. Yeah. Yeah. It could be $1 and you should treat the equipment like it's yours. because it helps everything go around. And it like, oh man, all of us who go to a CrossFit space, like I was thinking about this too, and like was gonna rant about this, but I was like, yeah, there's no way, because I was trying to like look at the other side, but there's no way I would go to like, I know some of these gyms in the areas I've been to, and like literally I would go to my gym or I go to NC Fit. Like, sorry, sorry to everybody out there. Like I would not, I'd go for a while, but I would really get exhausted paying the money just on the space, cleanliness, the equipment, the upkeep alone. Now, if there was a world-class coach there, then yeah, I could make some argument, right? And like the coaching community, that's in every gym, whether the coaching level is high or low, you're going to get coaching in class, no matter what. You're going to get community because you're around other people. You're not in there by yourself. So like those things being a selling point, they're included, it's part of it's part of the membership. It's part of the benefit. But like really for me, I was just trying to think of the things that irk me. And I was like, I couldn't go to another gym. I could go for a little while and then I'd have to leave because I could not handle it. Or I'd say something and then I'd get kicked out because it's just unacceptable to me. I just like don't understand it. I don't understand why when I tell people stuff, they get so offended. Like I've like kicked their dog or something. I'm like, listen, you're in here acting a fool. You probably should just do what I said and clean up. Like Shanna is a doctor, so we're going to take her word for it. There's literally a layer of bacteria and virus on everything. That's why we have an immune system. All right, so we won't get.
So no pink eye from wall balls.
No pink
That's
eye.
good.
Okay, but you just ruined my $100 wall balls. So no pink eye, but you're taking $100 from me. Okay. How about those people who can do Karen unbroken? I don't want a lopsided ball. Wall balls are hard.
Those are the worst.
Hard enough. I don't need trying to throw this ball because you compressed it last class and now it's all egg shaped. Okay. She says, you still believe that you should clean them? Yeah, I think so too. You bring down the rates, right? You could bring down the rates of transmission. Anyways, she says you're welcome to come. Jacqueline said you're welcome to come to the barn. It's clean. It is clean. Her gym is clean.
She's got a sick gym.
Yeah. Nobody better mess around in there. Get yelled at. I don't know. I'm not saying you got to have a space that's like sterile. It's got to have some grit to it, like it's been used, but man, come on. Like, come on. Oh yeah. Marissa has done double Karen unbroken. Actually, I think it was like 230. You have to check that, but it was close. I don't think you've done 300 unbroken.
Go do it now.
I mean, she does have a sub 5 minute Karen time, and you got to have a good ball for that. You got to have a good ball for it. Okay. Shanna says my gym is clean too. It's all wrapped in plastic. That's for the cold. What was Cody saying? I kiss Taylor's ass and kill Tit. I get pink eye. I don't know, man. Ask Shanna. Yeah. Man. Anyways, there's a lot that goes into all of that, right? And like, if you are an athlete not taking class and going to any gym, you should be the most respectful. Things go away where they need to. The gym owner or the head coach's expectations on how to handle and manage the equipment. You mop up after yourself every single day. You don't cause an issues for the gym management and the gym people because you're in there using it the most. That's the other thing too. Because like people come in for the class, they use it for an hour and everyone's doing the same workout. So the coaches know what equipment's being used that day. So we know what to watch and maintain and make sure that we can make adjustments to, like placing batteries, wiping things off. Like we have that exposure to all those things. But like when you come in doing open gym, one-on-ones, hybrids, like in our gym specifically, like everyone's doing something different. So you might use every piece of equipment in the gym that day because of all the people coming through plus the classes. So like it's more imperative in our gym, especially, that this stuff gets upkept, or else we're gonna because the use is so much higher, which is great and I love it. But we all gotta work together so that we can continue to do more things and buy more things. And the same goes for any gym that way as well. But it's just interesting. The wall ball thing really, I use that as an example. And like a lot of people in the chat are just like blowing up about the wall ball. It's a good analogy, I guess. Don't make the wall balls egg shaped.
Everybody's used an egg-shaped wall ball and everybody hates it. Nobody's like, I want the egg-shaped one.
It's okay. I'll take the one that's going to fly around, hit me in the face a couple times, and just really demoralize me as if doing wall balls isn't already hard enough. I want to work on my accuracy a little bit more, so let me get that one. No way. They're running over like, I need this one. Don't touch it. I saw you looking at that wall ball. Yeah. There's just so many layers to it all. Like even CrossFit itself as an organization, like it's so robust. But like, man, yeah, with the leaks or like even running a gym, like how much stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. And people are just so quick on the internet to like come at you, or like send an email over. Like, you're just like, man, can I just like get a break here? It's just like just a little bit. Like, we got all this going, this going, this going. And you're like, toilet paper is too rough. It's like, I mean, I would change that if someone emailed it over, but it's just like things like that. It's like, okay, well, trying to make sure that the garage door gets locked. So no one comes in and steals everything, but all right. Same thing, like with the leaks. How could you CrossFit? How could you leak everything? It's like, they're not trying to. You think they're happy? That's the other thing. You think they're happy that these workouts are out? No. They're just like, who did it? We got to fire them. I hope no one gets fired over it. It's just what it is. You can't say anything. All right. I think that covers it. That's my rant. 51 minutes ranting about stuff. How'd I do?
I think it was all fair. I think anybody that's worked in a gym has had those same things.
Be nicer to CrossFit. Enjoy. I think generally, on a positive note, everyone that I've interacted with who's doing the open and is engaged, they're very positive about it, having a good time. Pull up my wall walk comment. Okay. Oh, we'll go back. So, and again, generally, all the things that I listed with gyms, like they're doing pretty well, but you could help them out and do better as a gym patron. I don't see his thing. They make my shoulders look big. Okay, here it is. I think this is it. Okay. What is your opinion on wall walks being a good test for being inverted? Seems to be showing up all the time now in the open since their return in 21 and in the open for the last 4 to 5 years. I mean, I think for the online competition environment, it's much better than testing handstand walks as far as like usability standard. Because you could, and it kind of segments things too. Because like you could do wall walks in a qualifier, and I get it. People are going to argue about this, but then like in person, you could do handstand walks. So like layers. So like and then at the games or like they did in regionals, you can do handstand walks with pirouettes. So you can do over the ramp. You could do handstand walk, handstand push-up stuff, wall walk to handstand push-up stuff, which they've done, like complexes. So I like the natural progression of difficulty as you go through the phases of competition. Because I would like, as a CrossFit coach, that we just like have like core movements for the open. Like if we wanted to get people fit, and then like those movements plus a broader pool, which they kind of already do. And then a broader pool for the games, and they kind of do it already. Cause like you even hear people talk about like when I get to the games, like that's the fun stuff, the odd objects, the running, the blah, 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 this thing, that thing. So like there's already a natural flow of that, whether CrossFit realizes it or not, like the people in charge, because they've never really come out and said like, yes, other than Dave saying like there's a theme of things. And like in 2017, they had the double under thruster workout. And then at the games they had it, but heavy. So like I assume he's aware of stuff like that. So let's see. If I had someone before leaking to their gym back in the day, allegedly, yeah, don't fire people over that. Just talk to them. Let's see. I don't agree about the standardization, but the execution of the average gym space wall walks is better. Yeah, I just with the camera angles, that's why I don't like it. And even the wall walk, because the lines are on the ground, like I don't like anything that actually like pulls the camera away from whatever the action is. Like it's much easier to watch someone do thrusters and pull-ups and double unders closer than be like, all right, we're gonna do handstand push-up, because typically you got to go handstand push-ups, deadlifts, handstand walking is one of the workouts, and they progressively upscale. Or we had the handstand walks, the quarterfinals years. It was like, what was it? Handstand walks, front squats, ring muscle up, something or other, wall facing handstand push-ups. The camera's so far away that, like, I mean, if you watched Hiller's video, I had it on before we got on here, of like the not top 30 of like movement standards. Like, you're already struggling with movement standards when you can see things. And now you got tape lines on the ground. Like, how do I know that my hand is fully cleared the tape? You know, like, you don't. There's too much to question there. But when you're in person, you got the judge and the lane and everything else. Unless we just go to the system where like everybody takes the level 1 judges course, and then they take the advanced judges course, and they're level 1. And that's just how we're going to play it. And like the judging stands as far as like whatever that ruling is, and you submit a video and it's not super egregious to the point where we could say, hey, that judge is like letting people cheat, then like, okay. But I think with the way things are, it would be better just to do wall walks. Yes. Eliminate the bouncing of the head off the floor part of the handstand push-ups. I mean, you should eliminate that yourself in general if you like your cervical spine. Like, but yeah, I do look at handstand push-ups as something I've always wanted to get rid of in general for that reason. But because like but then like I go back and forth, because even saying that, I think about like, oh, what would you do? Like shoulder overhead. But doing shoulder overhead and do like a push press and doing a kipping handstand push-up, vastly different as far as like skill, body position. You know, you're using way more core stabilization in a handstand push-up because of the closed chain of the hands, and then like versus like the shoulder overhead. So like I don't know. It's hard for me. I don't like the damage it can do to someone's cervical spine for sure, but I also don't think that it could be replaced, which is unfortunate. Less space and really hard to do high density wall walks. This is true. Shanna's on board with that. It is hard. It is, if you've ever done like high density wall walks, is a challenge in itself. Lunge, step up, strict handstand push up, handstand walk, chipper year. Everyone, yeah, that's what I mean. So yeah, that year where you had the single arm overhead lunges, because here's the thing, you can move the cameras, people just don't get the athlete out of the frame. But like, you can go forward and back. No one does it because they know why. Like what Marissa's saying is like, if you move the camera closer, you have an opportunity to get no rep and your video invalid. It's like people don't do it. So that someone breaks out their iPhone 4, puts it on a tripod, and moves it 100 yards away. Am I good? I'm good. You could see everything. So yeah. So Cody, for that reason, I like the wall walks paired with things that are not where you can be far away from and not judging the movement quality and movement standards. So yeah, I do think the lunges, I think the 15 feet instead of the 25 is more because not necessarily the videoing side, but more the affiliate side. They now know because they sent out a survey that a lot of affiliates filled out and explained that like you can't do it in a class with that space. If that's the intent, is to be able to do these. And it is because they run it through the CAP program and everything else. So like they took that feedback. But even now saying that, like we could completely be wrong because they do handstand walks in the open one year from the time that I say this. And then it's like, well, you're wrong now unless they do 15 feet, which wouldn't be bad because then it's a 30-foot handstand walk. You go 15 out, turn around, 15 back, and you got to go unbroken. And that would just be the standard. That would be really challenging for people. And like get rid of the 5 foot increments. Oh man, Hey, we now know that CrossFat is a coach. This people have been trying to speculate who CrossFat is on like Sevon and Coffee Pods and Wads and stuff. But now we know. See, he's remember running heats of 1 to 3 peeps with overhead walking lunges. So we now at least know he was running Friday Night Lights in some capacity. We're on to you, CrossFat. We're gonna figure it out. What else? Anything to rant about? I think that's it. I put on here that we're going to chat about 25.2. My only thoughts of 25.2, and I've been talking to a few people about this. It's an easy workout. Like the first time it came out, I was like, this, like, it's a derivative of Fran, but I was blown away by the 4-minute times in 2022. And now, like, I look at it, I'm like, yeah, it makes perfect sense. I don't see why, like, I don't know how much faster someone could go because of movement speed. Like I think that's the fastest we're going to see is 401 because Colt Mearns and his body type and everything else. And if you watch that video, dang, and the movement quality is so good. But yeah, you're not going to go much faster than that, but it's still a thing where like, it's very easy to build someone to do 21 pull-ups unbroken, 18 chest bar unbroken, 15 bar muscle-ups unbroken, the number of double unders, and then the thruster. And I was thinking about trying it with some people where the thruster load stays exactly the same across for the workout and seeing what those times are then. Because I just don't think people would have to break. But then it alludes to like, okay, so then they might have a strength problem. But then you start building that strength or repeatability for that and then test them again. But it's just like, oh, it's so easy to build and they'll get better at other things through that process of that singular workout. Like you're going to build their chest to bars, pull-ups, and bar muscle-ups, which is going to build out someone's density of gymnastics under high tolerance and high speed. And then same thing with the thruster. Like thrusters, a front squat, push press, and then the jumping of the double unders, some cardio stuff, like taking those things like Greg has always talked about, and you're going to start doing second wave adaptations and then some third wave stuff where you're like just focusing on the thruster, but you could also focus on the front squat repeatability, push press repeatability, handstand, even though people hate it on the handstand push-ups, because those are also thrusters, just inverted, more wall ball work, also a thruster. And then you could put it all together and get someone really proficient at that workout where like 5-minute times, between 5 and 6 minutes for the normal human being, not even the elites, assuming like they adapt and everything else. But I was just like, oh, this is such an easy workout. Not to be like top in the world, but to be like doing proficiently, near unbroken and quick, which is cool. Cause like Fran's the same way now. There's so many people like back in the day in old school CrossFit, like everybody would be like, oh, I got a 5-minute Fran. Like everyone's hyped on it. And now it's like everybody has a sub 3-minute Fran. Like every normal people, normal human beings. So it's just one of those things where I'm like, oh yeah. But that's really what I thought about. I was just thinking about how like you're also the sport, like said this because everyone says like under fatigue right now. Like that's a really catchy thing to say, like under fatigue or with interference. And I was really thinking about that. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what it is. But I was thinking about how much of the sport is a like accumulation resistance of fatigue, and no specifically thing to what that is. Like, so as you fatigue, you need to use more oxygen, right? So like your ability to use less oxygen to continue to perform the work. And I was thinking about this because Bethany Shabern a bunch of them went to Adidas and they did VO2 max testing in a mixed modal setting, which I've also done in a laboratory. And like, it's really the point at which you're accumulating the fatigue and your body is able to clear that fatigue to continue exercise. So you're resisting the accumulation of fatigue to continue the exercise. So is it like under fatigue, or is it you're just not fatigue resistant enough or developed enough to clear the fatigue to continue the exercise? Because everyone's like, I got to do chest to bars under fatigue. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I know what it means, but like, how, okay, solve that problem. Like, you got any suggestions? Like, if someone's like, I need to do chest bar under fatigue, how would they solve that problem? Like, are they just like, oh, I'm just going to do a bunch of rowing and chest to bars? Like,
Oh, well, one, you're very inception with how you just worded that whole thing of, instead of doing things under fatigue, you're just not accumulating fatigue. But what is true though. I mean, but you could also do, like we were talking about last week, of like you could also just have them doing like a lot of rowing, not machine, like not rowing erg, but
dumbbell rows.
like bent over rows
Yeah.
and pulling and stuff like that, to build up their capacity in that contraction,
Yeah.
and then building up their aerobic base as well, so that, you know 30 pulling this way, well, they've already done 3 sets of 20, so 30 of them in a row isn't really going to bust them up that much.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're building a buffer to resist the demand of the fatigue
Yeah.
versus like doing it under fatigue. And I was also thinking about this because when I did the workout, even though I was sick, and I was like, frustrated. Fuck, I gotta stop thinking about it because I know I've gone faster, and I know right now my fitness I could have done like 7 minutes, and because I just like, or like 7:30, 7 to 7:30, and I just like didn't want to do it because I couldn't breathe through my nose. I still like have a hard time, but I was thinking about after, because when I was fine, this is why I know I could go faster. I was like fine, quote unquote, throughout the workout. And then after, I walked over to my camera and like was like, and like Jen was there, and she was like, "You all right?" Because I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like I was like watching the video and I was like, "Ah shit!" And like I had to stand up, and I was like, "Stop!" Like I was just like yelling, "Stop!" Because like my body was like not buffering the fatigue anymore, because I resisted all that fatigue as I got through the workout, and I was like buffering it, and then it caught up with me, like. And I know there are people out there who've said this. They're like, "Oh, I try to outrun the burn, or I try to outrun," and I think that's what it is. Like I'm only thinking about this now and kind of thinking more out loud about it as we're talking about it with the 25.2. But I think if you can resist the fatigue because you've done like the training, like you're saying, you're basically just trying to resist fatigue, clear. So then you can continue the exercise. You're not ever trying to train or be under fatigue.
Right.
Like fatigue's going to happen because I'm not stupid. You're exercising, right? You're going to breathe heavy. You're going to change over all kinds of like substrates, everything else. And there's byproduct from that that's damaging and slows exercise down. But like, I'm just trying to think about it. It's like, how do I articulate that better? And not that you can't say under fatigue or with interference. Like, I just think they're a reductionist saying to get people to get on board with whatever thing they're peddling. Goes back to our first point. And there is like, you are under fatigue, you are breathing heavy, but I would say that's true for all CrossFit workouts.
Yeah.
Like 2 minutes in to a 16-minute workout, you're under fatigue.
Yeah. Well, I think it also depends on like what you're like. Fatigue is a moving scale, like if you're 1 minute into a workout, that's very different fatigue than 16 minutes into a workout, so like using the word fatigue can land anywhere in a workout, but what you mean, what most people say when they say doing things under fatigue is like,
Pull-ups gave up.
Yeah, I can't use my biceps anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's an opportunity to be like, well, let's do classic bodybuilding hypertrophic training sessions to build the volume onto your biceps so that doesn't happen. And so then it's the responsibility to try and go as heavy as possible with large rep sets to learn how to build and buffer that fatigue, or not have the fatigue at all, because you just got it. You got that muscle endurance. But yeah,
plus you get to do a lot of curls.
Yeah, exactly. But people think like, oh, I got to get on the ski erg, and I got to do chest bars, and I got to get my heart rate up to 170 and kill myself, because that's the setting that it gave up on me. So I got to put myself in that setting to make it better. And that's a way. I don't think that's a good way. Because like, think about how hard you got to push yourself too. Because most of the time it's people looking back on really tough workouts of where they gave out. And like 25.2, I think a lot of people be like, I just the fatigue, because there's a lot of fatigue. There's a lot of global systemic fatigue. You know, you're doing all the things, breathing hard, pulling, squatting, pressing, jumping. Like it's everything. You're doing all the movements, all the functional movements. So like, yeah, that's just fatigue. So like, yeah, dude, that's so crazy. Is that the problem? So like when we talk about it, is it just like, could you just have someone do a bunch of zone 2 and build their base out and make them more aerobic? And would they be better at that workout? Maybe.
I
Get them stronger. Would they be better at that workout? Maybe.
yeah.
Have, or make them do that workout more. Is that going to make them better at that workout? I would argue not. I would argue that's the furthest solution, but that's the nearest solution for most people.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. That's what 25.5 or 25.2 has taught me right now. It's an easy workout, and people talk about workouts in a weird way that are not conducive to like improving their physiological state. Oh man. What did you learn from 25.5?
From 25.2.
Or 2. Why did
yeah.
you say 5?
I don't know, man. You're rolling with that 3 workout thing.
Yeah, that's what happened. I got incepted. 5 scores.
No, I agree. Because I remember judging people in 22 doing that workout, and I was like, man, this is no joke. And then having people do it this year, and just the scores are so much faster. Well, I say that most people are faster. I've seen a lot of people.
A group of people that are faster. I would say the scores, people got better, but I would say most of the scores, like, well, I don't know. You have to look at the individual names, but I agree with you. Like, but there's definitely like chunks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like there are bigger groups in the faster scores for sure.
Yeah. And that more of like what you're saying of like, well, going back to 22, like a lot of people, they're using up the entire time limit, the 12-minute cap. And then this year, a lot of people, they're like, even if they did it the first time and they're like, I got capped, and then they do it the second time and they beat the cap by a couple of minutes, of where like the workout is moving a lot faster now than it seemed to back in 22.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I just got an email from CrossFit Downfall. Breaking news. It gets to break on the show. Breaking news. In 2022, Berkshire Partners acquired CrossFit, motivated by a strong belief in our methodology, brand, and our community. It is now time to seek out a new owner for the next phase of growth. Our objective is to find the right partner, one with a connection to our community, an appreciation for our affiliate business model, and a passion and vision to lead us into the future. As typical in any sale process, CrossFit will be working with an advisory company to help review a wide range of potential buyers. These processes take time, and we won't be able to share details until it is complete. In the meantime, there will be no changes to how we operate or work together. This moment of transition comes with a significant opportunity. I'm personally going to be very involved in this process, and I'm excited by the potential that holds for the future of the affiliate business and CrossFit overall. Wow. There we go. Don Fall. You want his email? It's on there. Anyways, I mean, it's public. Like you guys. All right, cool. Okay. Well, on that note, I cut you off. I have no idea what you were saying, and I know it was really, really good stuff.
Either.
Like it popped through on my thing that was like CrossFit email from Don Fall, like on my little banners.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. And I got it. Like the first line is like selling CrossFit. And I was like, oh, gotta read this real quick. But I know you were doing a really good job. Yeah, Heather, we already knew this. Tyson Bajan is the special guest for the 25.3. I think that was released this morning. Yeah, my boy, Tyson. Listen, dude, that guy's been doing CrossFit. He's not my boy. He should be everyone's. He should be the people's champ of CrossFit. Because, like, dude, that guy he's throwing down with pepper and Sprague. Yeah, we know. It'll be cool. He's not as fit as them, but if it is rowing and deadlifts and rowing and wall walks, he's got a shot to like be right there. Yeah, dude, I love him. He is in the NFL. There's a lot of NFL players who do CrossFit who don't talk about it. So good on him, for coming out and saying it's made me the player I am. It's a great training methodology. I don't get injured doing it. And, he's doing the thing. So like, good for him, man. That's why I love him. I love him. He seems kind of cool. I don't know him at all, but the fact that he's just out there doing it, showing people and being transparent and true about his training, whatever that Kittle guy's first name is on the San Francisco 49ers, Heather, I'm sure he's doing CrossFit, but is he out there telling people about the good word? I know. You think he's great? I mean, did he even play this year? I mean, he's in the NFL. I shouldn't hate on him, but he got back on the team. I know that. That's good. No, but that'll be exciting. Not as exciting as CrossFit coming out, being transparent and trying to get ahead of things and telling the affiliate owners that they're looking at selling the brand. So there's that. And if you go on Barbell Spin, I'm sure it's already posted somewhere.
Right. He does have terrible hair.
He's got terrible hair. It looks good coming out of his helmet. It does. He's got a nice flow. Oh, Kittle. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Doesn't he do like Old Spice commercials too? Stuff like that. Come on, Heather. Get up in here. Tell us about your boy. Let's see. Oh, she's behind on the gossip today. I mean, this is general. It was a CrossFit Games announcement, and they had a whole promo. I don't know if it's gossip. It's like the announcement. Yeah, that's it. If you go to an affiliate, be nicer to the gym owner, the equipment, be respectful, try to get there fit, have a good time. Don't get so offended when a coach or owner tells you, hey, you're doing that wrong. If you're an elite athlete going to a gym, behave the same way and realize that you use the gym more than most people. So you got to be the most respectful and like help out that affiliate owner and coaching staff like Jason Hopper does with J.R. Howe. And yeah, don't sell toe spacers. Actually, use toe spacers. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't hate on toe spacers. Though they're good. They'll work for you. They'll push it out. It's nice. Get some space on your foot. It's good for you. Definitely do it. But yeah, I think remembering, why we're all here, like why we even can be on YouTube talking about CrossFit is because somebody, and I know people are like, well, you can't like invent CrossFit, like blah, blah, blah. Yes, you can. And Greg did. He took things and put it together and put a name on it and systemized it and grew it over time to get to at the height, almost 15,000 affiliates and a billion freaking level 1 trainers. And he taught you it was safe to squat below parallel. He taught us all that it was safe to learn the Olympic lifts, whether you are 80 years old or you're 10 years old. They taught us that it's okay to have high intensity, to integrate different training methods and models. The whole hybrid athlete movement is here because of CrossFit, what Greg did, what the trainers did, what the affiliates did. The CrossFit Games is here because of what we did. Those athletes have a platform to speak their mind and talk about those things because they participated in a thing that an independent company created and pushed forward and helped support you with and help put food on your table. So like, don't ever forget that. Like, and I know, and listen, I've sent emails to CrossFit. I know a lot of people have sent emails to CrossFit and said our grievances and everything else. And that's totally fine too. You can get involved in the process, but you also have to have respect and like do your work on your end. It's the same thing with High Rock stuff, right now, like I'm going to fucking put people on blast. There's a gym in the area. There's lots of gyms in the area doing like High Rocks fitness racing classes. And we paid our money. We did our education. We are running the class. We're using the word. We think High Rocks is doing a great job. Those guys who own that company are doing a great job. They're getting a fitness racing thing to happen around the globe and get people enthused about running, jumping, sprinting, lifting heavy, moving fast, like building their functional capacity. And we are actively getting enrolled and involved in what they're doing by paying our money, getting educated, paying more money for that. And then they're giving us the opportunity to use the name, the brand, the likeness, the resources to bring people into our gym to get them fit. And there are other gyms out there who are not participating in those things. And I have a problem with that. And they're just putting out these fitness classes and not signing up to be part of what was created that is giving you opportunity that you can, yes, you can go freely do. Anyone could open a gym right now and do CrossFit. You might get a cease and desist letter from CrossFit. Would that hold up? Probably not. But like, why? Where's your integrity? And your professionalism. The athletes want to talk about professionalism. Let's look at like gyms who aren't professional enough to understand, it's like, that's why there is lobbies and there are licenses, like for chiropractors and PTs and everything else. It's like, because they don't want you just doing that stuff. And like, if that's where you want it to go and you want someone coming in and putting you in jail because you're teaching an air squat, well, that's a problem. But at least have the decency to be like, hey, I'm going to give tribute where tribute is due. It's not really that much money. It's $130 a month, like your CrossFit affiliate or your Hyrox affiliate. I got to pay $1,000 for education here. I got to spend my weekend. I'm going to learn some things, meet some people, be ingrained, push myself forward. But like, that's not happening. There are people de-affiliating and still doing CrossFit. It's like, yeah, you can have your problems, but like, dude, think about why you're here and have respect for that. It's crazy to me. That just came off the top of my head because I was thinking about it. I was like, I just can't believe that. Like, that's bothersome a lot. Because I've spent a lot of time, money, education in doing this thing, running affiliates. Like, so maybe that's a bias I have, but I also am like, just play fair, like come to the table with all the same things, and then we'll see who is the best. I think that like anything in life, and maybe that's just because I'm competitive and I like that, but like when you're not doing the things that I'm doing and trying to get away with something, it's like, yeah, you're probably not squatting below parallel also, So good luck. Crazy. Yes, Cody. The Hyroxers are lifting heavy. The professionals have to back squat and front squat and push the sled to move that sled, dude. I want to see you do a Hyrox. I don't want to like get on the bandwagon of Hyrox people, and they are substantially weaker than a CrossFitter because it's not a strength sport. It's an endurance sport, like pure run. It's a running sport more than it is a strength sport, but their ability to move that sled at the speed at which some of those people are moving the sled, not everyone, because some people need to be hitting some strength work. That's the problem. They can't move the sled fast because they're not strong. They need to be doing power and strength work to improve that characteristic for the Hyrox event. So yes, Hyrox people should be lifting heavy. Not all of them are lifting heavy. That's a different argument. So yes, Cody, lifting heavy. Okay. Sorry they're not as strong as you, dude. What is he saying? The concept of heavy exists in the spectrum, I guess. Yes, it does. Isn't the sled like 600 pounds? Something I always forget because I just know it in the kilos. It's 400 because it's, well, let me do the
I think it's almost 400.
Yeah, it's because it's in kilos. But either way, I'm going to see. You see people blow up on the sled because they can't push and pull it. So they're not strong. They're not lifting heavy enough. Then you hang out with Cody. If you hang out with Cody, you get strong and then go back to your running and be like, jeez, baller.
Hashtag hybrid.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, goes back to the thing. Like, let's have respect. Have respect for your gym owner. Have respect for the community. Have respect for the thing that you're engaging in. Have respect for the thing that's like making money for you and allowing you the opportunity. Like, that's something I'm really grateful for all the time, is like the people that come into the gym every single day, the one-on-one clients that we have, like helps us do what we can do, and it's a give and take. Like we get, sometimes the client, athlete, friend, they'll overstep. Sometimes we overstep. That's just life. But generally, mutual respect goes across and goes a long way. And I think we need more of that in the space, in our lives. Hunter's runner at max front squat is 265. I don't think that's true. Then you might want to look at, you sounding like Jace over here. making claims about certain people. Because didn't Jason win that argument? Yeah. Yeah, neuroadaptation. Sled under fatigue. Yeah. It's better than CrossFit. No, because and it's hard to say, but Hunter went live and talked about James Sprague doing the high rocks. His wall balls and his sled were much better than any of the high level high rocksers. So no. And Hunter gave him props on the show for being real badass in the sled and wall balls. Bad runner though. Relative. James is a great runner, but relative to high rocksers, bad runner. That was Hunter McIntyre's advice, that if he wanted to do the sport, one, he'd be really, really good and probably the world champ. Hunter said that, but he'd have to do a lot of running to make that possible. That'd be kind of cool. If I don't know if James would do it. He likes CrossFit a lot. Let's see. Yeah. He uses 10s and 15s like you. It's true. It's true. I do use a lot of 10s and 15s. Do you know why I would like to do that? And this will be the last thing we'll talk about, unless more stuff in the comments, because this is kind of fun with the comments. It pulls the weight out. So like you get more oscillation on the bar. So like more whip.
Yeah.
Closer into you. It's much easier to lift when the weights are further away.
But for us people that aren't strong, we don't get the oscillation anyways.
Well, you don't have enough weights on the bar. That's the thing. So if you are strong enough and you decide, like, all right, I'm gonna use 35s, because that's my move. I like using 35s as the base, and then you go like 15s and then 10s. Then it just it's good. Yeah, this is good. That's right. Yeah, you know what? It was funny is that rule in the rule book. I don't know how many people know about that. Like, because CrossFit had a thing about don't gender. It was up here somewhere, but don't gender him, her, him, them. CrossFit,
us,
CrossFit, whatever, us. Yeah. The rule in the rule book for CrossFit, and I know why, because like men have to use a 20 kg bar because the diameter. Women have to use 15. Well, typically, like this is not men. Typically, vast majority, there are outliers, have a bigger hand than a female. And I've used a women's bar in the past before there was that rule, because you save on grip, because the diameter of the bar is smaller. So it's easier to hold in your hand because you have a bigger hand. So like, but now there's the rule. So you do have to use the 20 kg bar, but I have used a 15-pound bar in the past, CrossFit, before it was a rule, because it's much easier to do. But yeah, that as far as like the gendering, before I read Cody's gendering the bars like that, I know people get mad, but it's like, yeah, 15, 20, however you want, but you got to know that the diameter is smaller, and you got to know the reason why the rule is there. The rule is just there, like, because you might have a female who has a big hand, and they're just going to get an advantage. And you might have a male that has a small hand, and they're going to get a disadvantage. It's the ends of the bell curve. So like, you're just going to omit that, like, that's a problem, because the majority of people fall under the norm of big hand man, small hand women, like as reductionist as that is. It's actually interesting you say that, because for powerlifting, the way it would be easier to move when it's not as far out. Wait, why? Oh, yeah, because it's closer to center mass, because you're doing slow lifts. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, they're not using the bounce though.
I was like, wait, what is he? Yeah, it would be, because it's closer to your center mass. So yeah, it would be. All right. Anything else? CrossFit and Cody? Just going ham. Anybody else want to get up in there? This was good. I spent a longer time ranting than I thought I would. Thought we'd get some more going, but
you feel better?
I do, because the small part of the world in our small corner now understands my perspective. You could disagree with me, but you understand my perspective. Disagree. You're breaking the floor on bendy deadlift bar. That's true. Yeah, well, they make specialty bars for that, so they bend better. Because Rogue does have that, the deadlift bar. So they bend more easily, but are also tensile strength is stronger, I guess. That's you have to like read that on their website or whatever. But yeah, they make a specialty bar so you can bend it. Bend it like Beckham. But yeah, anyways. All right, so 7-minute AMRAP, 50 cal row, 50 deadlifts, 315, 205, 50 cal row, 25. Or did I say 50 deadlifts? 25 deadlifts.
Yeah.
50 cal row and then 25 wall walks.
I've seen it both ways. I say no time cap, and they're gonna have to finish it.
It's still going to be under 7 minutes for the best people, even at a 315, 205 bar. I would like that a lot. That's why I was selfishly that's the one I want it to be 50, 25, 50, 25. That's also a rep scheme that Dave really likes and he's done in the past. So I could see it being that. I like that it's a 100 cal row. I have seen it where it ends with a 50 cal row also, like 50, 25, 50, 25, 50.
Sure.
Which like 150 is still not bad cal row, but it would make the time domain way longer for most people. Yeah, it might be 315, 205 or 225, 155, 10 minutes. I think that's people's most knee-jerk reaction though, is to go 225, 150, 155, like in the comments of the leaks and everything else, which most people are doing. But I would like it to be 315, 205 be true, because then no one will say anything about, oh, the open workouts were too light and they were looking for a fit person and you never tested strength, even though the thruster is pretty hard. But I would argue that that workout tested gymnastics density more than anything else. Was the ladies thrusters too light on the 25.2? I would say so yes. Not relative to the men. I think when you watch some of the men, the thruster, you could argue that bar could go to 185 to 125 on that final barbell for 15 reps. It would just demoralize and annihilate majority of people, but the top 10% in the world, no. Like, yeah, the reason why not 95, I think, is because adding the weights. It's easy to just go, because like for the men, same thing, 95, like 25s, 10s, 10s. And I don't know if they think about this, but in my mind, when I see that, I'm like, oh, that's that. I love that, because you just add fives to the 15-pound plates, versus like you have the 65 and then you go 75 and then you got to take those off and add a 10 and then add the 5 back on. It's just, to me, it just seems too clunky. So like as far as like utility of what it is and just adding and being symmetrical, I think it's good. I think but yeah, you could easily argue that thruster for 15 reps, like if we were to upscale it for like a quarterfinal or semifinal level person, assuming you accept the semifinal people to be within the top 1,200 in the world right now, not versus the old way, you could easily go to walking it backwards, the heaviest bar being 185, 125. The bar at 18 reps could be 135, 95. And then the first bar could be the standard Fran weight. And then people are like, those are huge jumps. It's like, yeah, but again, putting the weights on is really easy. And then it makes sense as like 95, 135, 185, because that's, and then same thing with the 65, 95, or sorry, what did I say for the women? Or 95, 125. Yeah, it would be that way. So like if we're talking like heavy 25.2, but yes, all those athletes would still, they'd have an outcome that was more indicative of what everybody else got. Like those times would be 6:30 to 8 minutes at those loadings versus the 4 to 6:30. Let's see. Cody wants the heavy deadlift. I think they should have a 315 deadlift because only 25 reps. True. Volume's low. I have seen the 50, like Tyler said, where you go 50, 50, 50, 25. I just don't know how much someone like Dave is like happy with that, because he's really a lot about like symmetry and the numbers. That's why you have the Fibonacci final. So like I would be surprised if he did a rep scheme like that. It'd be outside of his character to go 50, 50, 50, 25. It's more likely to go 50, 25, 50, 25. But you also read his book too, Construction of the CrossFit Games. I think that book came out in 2016. If anyone hasn't read that book, and then you comment on workouts and games workouts, you probably should go read that book. Right. Cool. Tomorrow you'll see Tyler and I won't rant about anything unless something triggers me. Dude, I can't believe that. I'm so happy that CrossFit sent that email.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Just that they're being transparent about it?
Yeah. Because like when Greg got ousted, we didn't hear anything. And then surprise, Eric Rosa. It's like, and like most of that I learned through the internet. Like I didn't, there was no, until it was like a thing. And then they sent over an email eventually and it was like, here's this guy, Eric Rosa, blah, blah, blah. And then they had town hall and like, well, then that and stuff. Cause like we also have a town hall that I'm going to get on. It's like later, not today, but it's in the email. But like, yeah, it's good. That's great. That's a huge step in the right direction. No one's going to care though. Everyone's going to get all pissed off. How dare they? We've been talking about it for weeks. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh man, God, jeez. Feels kind of like a bad girlfriend breaking up with you. but give me a bye. Yeah, that's good. That's true. Hey, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. The fact that you're surprised about transparency.
That's fair.
Tyler was surprised. I'm not surprised by it. They said they were going to try, and they are. I'm happy they did it. It's good. Under promise and over deliver strategy they're adopting. That is true. I think most people should under promise and over deliver. I think that's actually a very good thing to do in your whole life. But all right. CrossFit said we should have more rants. I don't know if I could do more of them. I just really need to get a few of those things off my chest because we're coming into a good time. It's a good time to be an athlete. It's a good time to train. You have so many options. Fucking it's sunny out now. We're going to pump up the tires on the gravel bikes and get to riding. Like, it's just too nice to like be mad because people can't just be like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to drop this dumbbell from overhead. You know? Oh, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and mop up all my sweat on the ground every day that I do that. And like high five my coach and be like, look, bro, I mopped. Like, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Let's see. We're going to make you happy. So when the new buyer comes by, you look happy. Yeah. I don't know. Who cares who buys it? It doesn't, like, even Berkshire owning CrossFit, like, it didn't really affect affiliate owners. Actually made it better, I think. Honestly, I'm probably one of the only people to say that. But yeah, I think it made it better. They're more inclined to give you resources to help make you successful because then they're successful. And like having private equity involved in something in a business, typically, like people say it's a negative thing. I think it's a net positive thing actually, because they're going to step in because they want to make their money back. And so they're going to find ways to help you be more profitable and them be more profitable, which ultimately will always make the product better. Even though people will sit back and be like, it's a money grab. It's a blah, blah, blah. It's like, just give it like 1 to 2 years. And I guarantee you it will get better if you just buy into this is what it is. This is economy. This is how things work. This is how things get paid for. This is the people in charge. This is what goes down. I enjoy participating in this thing and I want it to be around. So I'm going to actively get involved with it. Unless you don't want it to, and you want it to go under and you never want to have to do it ever again, you can go ahead and say, I'm out of the open and not pay your $20 and watch it fade off into the sunset. And you will not have that option because that's the world we live in. Unless you're going to change the world, which I don't think any of you are. I'm not going to. We just got to live it. Let's see what Cody say. Promoting mopping in the gym after you're done. Yep. Easy 25-second reel. Yeah, probably. I actually learned how to do that. We'll get offline. Like and subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the real content. 25.3. It's going to be a good one. And let's see if I can get into Masters semifinals. I could do it.